Hey there guys, it's Joey, and this is the sort of witchy vlog for the Witchling wisdom. I'll just zoom in a little. Yeah, there we go. So if you want the generalised meanings, that's on the connecting to video, but just to recap, it's about the inner search, the quiet of the mind, the higher self. Yeah. First and foremost, there's not going to be a spell for this witchling for a couple of reasons, really. Throughout the progress of the week, it became quite apparent that the best way to really search for answers is through divinational tools, be it tarot or oracle cards or the pendulum, or however you personally address divination. And to that end, it's not something that you can really embrace a spell in. And I've had spells before for the Ogum which were to do with opening yourself up to divinational messages, and I didn't really want to repeat that. And additionally, this week has had a huge echo of silence about not saying anything, and that's where the whole silence video started. The seed of that silence video began within the energies of the wisdom card, and therefore you can't really do spell work about silence. It's more about a practice, a peace of mind, and a very internal process which doesn't really make for spell work that I can show. At least it's more about contemplation than anything else. So that being said, we're going to go through I am a spark from the infinite, healing light. This was the first quote that I came across on picking this card last week, and it seemed to encapsulate the whole idea in one very definite statement. I am a spark from the infinite. I saw two white butterflies on my walk home, swirling upwards together, around each other in a spiral dance. It was incredibly beautiful. I saw even more white butterflies later on a second walk the same day. White butterflies are supposed to be symbolic of souls and purity, guardians ushering you along the path, reassurance you are headed the right way, as well as metamorphosis. There was also a large tortoiseshell butterfly on the wall in the bedroom as I entered it, and then it flew off as I walked in and flew out the window. 30 minutes later, as I thought about this again in contrast to what had happened earlier, another tortoiseshell butterfly flew in through the window for a few minutes and then out again. I also brought some juniper and lavender in from the garden that day. Okay, so there's a few more quotes. When you are truly genuine, there will invariably be people who do not accept you. And in that case, you must be your own badass self without apology. Katie Goodman. So the two central themes to this week, pulling from that quote, is sort of the self-acceptance for who you are in the face of people putting you down, mocking, judging, being nasty to you, as well as the silence thread, and I think that comes together in the silence video. And then the second quote is from Rumi. There is a voice that doesn't use words. Listen. Silence pervades this half of the week for me. In fact, it pervaded the whole week. Silence seems to be an encouraged energy. It's the appropriate response. Dum, dum, dum. Some of this is personal and therefore is only for me, so that's a bit... Oh, and I shared the message about the Cherokee brain. Okay, message about the two wolves, the one you feed being the most important. And to sum it up, it's a story about you having a wolf in you which feeds off anger and envy and negative emotion, and then one that feeds off positive emotion, love and acceptance and honesty and all these things. And which is stronger, asks the boy to his grandfather who is telling the story, and he responds, the one you feed. You know, you're responsible for your own inner self. One day she finally grasped that unexpected things were always going to happen in life, and with that she realised the only control she had was how she chose to handle them. So she made the decision to survive using courage, humour and grace. She was the queen of her own life and the choice was hers. Kahikini. Creativity is the greatest form of rebellion, Rebel Circus. When there is no enemy within you, the enemies outside cannot hurt you. African proverb. So again, it's all about the inner stillness, the inner quiet, the not being your own worst enemy. I found a gold leaf charm on the ground today, and I also rescued a grasshopper from the recycling bin. The neighbours have cut down half the garden and thrown it away. It was a bit, yeah. Both very positive symbols of good luck. There's a quote from A.M. Gildercraft, who does some incredible work. I am a two-legged wolf, the moon howls through my veins. In my dreams I run with my kin, feel my fur, lick my fangs, but then morning comes calling. With no pack I am alone again. The Hermit Tarot card reflects how I feel this week has gone energy-wise. It's all about silence. The solitary, self-reflective, introverted energy of the Hermit sums up how I've felt all week. Stepping back for the most part, embracing a very important part of any witch's or any human's path, which is to be silent. In today's modern social media heavy world where people can blurt out any thought in their head via Twitter, or upload pictures of what they ate that day, or give non-researched, non-thought-out opinions on matters of the day, silence is often forgotten and undervalued. Some even see it as a negative term, equating it with selfishness and antisocial behaviour. In fact, silence can often be the exact opposite. The need to step back and not get involved, to rise above, to not scream insults and hurl abuse at one another in a fit of anger, not point fingers, not mock, not judge, not slight, but to step away from anything and everything that poisons your insides. Say nothing, respect yourself enough to sidestep and let go. Silence is empowerment. Joanne Morris, 2014. It doesn't matter who other people think you are, it only matters that you know who you are. Joanne Morris, 2014. Contemplating two areas of my life I really want to get under control and progress. And then this quote from Women of Asto. Let it never be said that I sat when I should have stood, remain silent when I should have spoken. Let it never be said that I did not do my best to honour myself or my gods. When my path is overgrown, I will make a way. When I speak, let it be words of value. And when I come to the end of my journey, may I never look back with regret. So this is the counterbalance to silence, and I talk about this all in the silence video, about that there needs to be the balance of silence, knowing when to speak and when to be silent, knowing yourself. Willow has felt important this week. It was the standout herb that my dear friend sent me. It sort of worked through my intuition. It worked its way into a lot of the crafting, and this week's video for I Can't Witch Without. Feminine Moon Water, Love, Protection, Healing. There's all of that information is in the Willow video. I'm not going to repeat it all again. Yeah. Went wild crafting Sunday morning before the heat ramped up, was gifted leaves and branches of willow as well as oak and crow feathers. I received it was one resin and one bark that I had ordered this week. Hang on. So the resin is Google, I don't know, and then cedarwood. Unfortunately I ordered 3 and the third one hasn't turned up and is now late, so I may be arguing against Amazon shortly. Anyway, the Google is a kind of myrrh. It's strong, cleansing, calming, clearing, strengthening and relaxing. Cedarwood for deep spiritual moments, meditation and contemplation, helps eliminate negative vibrations and energies. A quote from Leon Brown: listen to your own voice, your own soul. Too many people listen to the noise of the world instead of themselves. So it's an interesting video to make of when your whole week has been about silent inward contemplation. I can share the quotes, I can't share some of the things which are deeply personal, obviously, because they're for me and me alone. And it bears repeating that in all of these videos, all of my videos, there is a wealth of information that I put out for people that I'm happy to share. That doesn't make it everything. It doesn't make it the private parts of my spiritual path. And if things I don't wish to share, then I will listen to my intuition and my higher power and all the rest of it and not share those things. Remain silent about them. And that's a very good practice to embrace. And sometimes it saddens me to see sort of the mocking or the judgment about what people put out. I've had it with haul videos and certain things. People saying that this is a bad example or whatever, because not every video is pure spiritual enlightenment or something. And the truth of the matter is, what I choose to put out there is a mix of things which I feel comfortable sharing and feel right with my sort of higher self, I guess, in sharing. Because if things are too deeply personal and they're just for me, then I'm not going to share them. And additionally, yes, everything in this video, everything in all of my videos is about me. It's my spiritual path, because I don't have the right to talk about anybody else's, simply put. So that's the end of this video. Many blessings.